So today, what would you like to talk on, Priyanka? Any particular topic?
Yes, as I am learning this language, so why not we should discuss how to avoid mistake? Because I have seen while speaking, actually I'm a YouTuber and I am making these videos for YouTube. So I have seen lot of people make a lot of mistake while speaking. So today I want to discuss how can we avoid this mistake. That is
Okay,
very common.
okay, great. So would you like to start
Yeah.
talking to, interacting with different professionals?
Mm-hmm.
English
Mm-hmm.
is very, very important, and we have to avoid some kind of mistakes because regional biases always come in.
Mm-hmm.
Interrupting the middle will show rudeness. It will also show that you have no respect or interest in what he's saying. And we need to be patient to finish,
Yeah.
to let him finish what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for asking. I'm doing great. What about you?
I'm good too. So
Mm.
happy Diwali.
Oh, same to you. How was your Diwali?
Very good. Thank you
Mm.
so much.
Mm. Okay, great to know that.
Yes. So today, what would you like to talk on, Priyanka? Any particular topic?
Yes, as I am learning this language, so why not we should discuss how to avoid mistake? Because I have seen while speaking, actually I'm a YouTuber and I am making these videos for YouTube. So I have seen lot of people make a lot of mistake while speaking. So today I want to discuss how can we avoid this mistake. That is
Oh,
very common.
okay, great. So would you like to start?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Please.
Okay. So, but how to start? Ask me some question, then I'll give answer. After that, we will start.
Sure.
Any
So,
random question.
so while we are talking, it's important that we should avoid grammatical mistakes.
Hmm.
We should
Hmm.
frame our sentences very clearly.
Exactly.
There should be clarity in what we are speaking. Our sentences should be crisp and concise,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yes. So when we are communicating, there has to be clarity in thought in our framing of sentences and the use of vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do we mean by use of vocabulary? Sometimes people think that in social conversations, we must use very bombastic words, something very, very uncommon. But no, that's not required. You can speak very simple English, but speak very well,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So that it is important that we should use the right vocabulary at the right time. It's
Hmm.
not always important to impress,
Exactly.
right? As
Hmm.
because communication is nothing but conveying our feelings and our emotions in such a way that the other person understands what we want to convey,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so when we are talking about how to avoid mistakes,
Hmm.
it is important to understand that as professionals, effective communication is very, very important. And in a
Hmm.
globalized economy like ours, especially when we are talking to people from different countries, we are talking to interacting with different professionals,
Hmm.
English
Hmm.
is very, very important. And we have to avoid some kind of mistakes because regional biases always come in.
Hmm. Yes.
So a foreigner, for example, will never understand a regional biased English.
Hmm.
So it's important that we should try to overcome regional biases. Then,
Okay.
yeah, and this is very important. And common mistakes which we usually make during conversation is we either speak very fast
Hmm.
or we speak very slow. But if you see the American people, they speak slowly.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we should avoid speaking too fast or too slow, but
Hmm.
have a medium pace at which we are talking. so that the other person can easily understand. Because if you talk too slowly, also the essence of it gets lost.
And sometimes it become boring if someone
And
is
it becomes
too
very,
slow.
and it becomes
Yeah.
boring. By the time they finish the sentence, you forget what they had actually said.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. So
Mm,
the common mistakes which we normally make is one, the pace at which we talk or the speed at which we talk. Second, we have to also keep in mind that it is impolite to interrupt when the other person is talking.
mm,
Before the person finishes the sentence, we are ready to pipe in and say something.
yeah.
That is that's not only rude, but it's also a common mistake which people make. So we need to wait till the person finishes his sentence and then say what we want to say.
Understood.
So interrupting the middle will show rudeness. It will also show that you have no respect or interest in what he's saying. And we need to be patient to finish,
Yeah.
to let him finish what he has to say.
Mhm.
Now, many times while talking, especially in social conversations, people have the habit of dominating. Have you observed that? Dominating conversations?
Yeah, means they want to prove themselves. No, I am right. This kind of nature. Are you talking about?
Yeah, no, not only right, but they also want to prove that they are very good conversationalists.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
so
mm,
usually they try to dominate the conversations in such a way that they don't allow the other person to speak.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm,
that is wrong. So it is important to understand that you have to balance and share your thoughts. Yeah, so because communication is a two-way process.
exactly.
Yeah, so you have
Yeah.
to balance your thoughts, keep the conversation engaging. That is very, very important. You have to keep
Mm-hmm.
the conversation engaging. And also, at any time, it's very important to be polite and respectful. Polite
Mm,
and respectful when we are talking. We
mm,
may agree or disagree with the person's viewpoint, but
mm,
we have to very politely agree to disagree.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So some of the mistakes which people make, and forget about the Indian population, but abroad people look at these things very, very minutely, and they would think that we are very rude when you interrupt, when you don't allow them to finish a sentence, when you
Mm-hmm.
pipe in before they finish what they have to say. All that is very, very rude. So for all ages of population, India or otherwise, it's important to keep these in mind. Do not interrupt, do not dominate conversation, avoid language which is not familiar. We should avoid language which is not familiar. Just because I know English well, I cannot go on using very, very bombastic words, because then the audience can't understand and it becomes very boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, audience
Mm,
cannot understand and becomes very boring. So this will also help any kind of preventing any kind of confusion, because what is
mm,
the purpose of communication? We should not forget. It is always to share our feelings, share our emotions, and maybe convey something to the other person.
yeah.
If that itself is not done, then our whole purpose is defeated,
Mm,
right? So
mm,
these are some common errors. Then avoid any kind of misunderstandings that may come up while we are talking. Misunderstandings can come up. Why? Because there's no active listening. When we don't listen properly, there will be misunderstandings. So active listening is very, very important to avoid any kind of misunderstanding while conversing with a person.
mm,
Yeah. Then
yeah.
we yes. So have you come across any such situation when you haven't been attentive and
Mm.
there has been some misunderstanding?
Okay, I think I have been came across all the situation like the first one, as you said about like we sometimes we become too nervous, or sometimes when we start learning this language we start speaking too fast, and that's the reason we make a lot of mistake. And now I'm working on myself so that I can control my pace. But I have seen whenever I become so excited and I want to share any topic, so that time I start speaking too fast, and that's the reason I make a lot of mistake. And I have seen a lot of people do. Once we forget our pace, we start making a mistake. I think that is very common and we usually do. And second thing, as you said about attentive listener, right? So sometimes we more focus on the answering the question. All right. Sometimes we don't listen proper. What am I asked? We just start giving answer. Again, sometimes it become a wrong, or it can cause of misunderstanding. So it happened several times with me because
Mm.
I focus more on the answer. And especially I have seen it happen in the interview, because that time we become so nervous, or we feel like we want to give best there, and that's the reason we start answering. So I have also realized, if somebody asks me some question, so just take a pause, just take a at least deep breath, and then you start answering that question. So it become more polite way, and it become more structured way too. So I think
Exactly.
these are the
Very
things
good.
are very important.
Yeah. So since you have realized yourself that these are the few mistakes you do make, being conscious about it will help you go a long way. So there's
Hmm.
nothing to worry about. Just be aware of it and try to avoid the same mistakes and not to repeat the same mistakes. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you will succeed because another important mistake which people make is repeating yourself. Go on repeating and saying the same thing again and again. So
Hmm.
that also
Hmm.
becomes very boring for the audience. So
Yeah.
do not, so some common mistakes is do not repeat yourself, because when you keep repeating yourself, it shows that you are not prepared
Hmm.
and you're unprepared for the entire speech or the discussion. So always go with a level of preparedness and do not repeat yourself. You may
Hmm.
speak little bit, but do not go on repeating the same thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Then,
And I
so
want
all, pardon? So,
I want, oh, sorry, I want to add here one more thing. I have seen sometimes it's very important to know the synonyms of the word. Sometimes if we use any word, but people might not understand. So that time, if I know the synonyms of the word, so I can explain it more easily way. So I have realized whenever I use any word, definitely I should use some synonyms too. And sometimes, like if I'm saying this thing is very important, so I should not use important in a several times. So sometimes it's important to use the alternate verb. So it look more impressive. Do you think so?
yes, it's always good to have a lot of synonyms with you, because finally it's how you convey and how well you convey that is important. So
Hmm.
if you have, like, it's you have a battery of weapons, you are very good in the battlefield. Yeah.
Exactly.
So the fewer weapons you have, then you're worried whether you'll win the war or not.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so synonyms are nothing but your which will help you build your good vocabulary, and you are well equipped with whatever words you want to use in the proper context,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can pick and choose as per the audience.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's very important. So what
Hmm.
we spoke about today is that mistakes during conversation could be classified into verbal and non-verbal. So
Hmm.
these are all verbal, what we have spoken about. For example, we spoke about interrupting the other. We spoke about dominating conversations. We spoke about avoiding use of language which is not familiar to the other person. We also spoke about avoiding misunderstanding, being very clear and precise when we are talking, and be specific. Just don't go on beating around the bush, but come to the point directly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then,
Hmm.
coming to body language is also very important. These are non-verbal
Yeah.
cues, which are very important in communication. Uh, one important body language is eye contact. I can't look up in the ceiling and talk to you. Can I? No,
No,
I
no.
have to look at you straight in the eye and talk to you. I may shift a little bit, but that's fine. But I can't forever keep looking here, there, everywhere, but not at you. So
Mm,
it's very important that eye contact has to be maintained when we are talking. Body language should be very open and should be approachable. The person
mm,
should feel there is a connect.
mm,
There's a
mm,
connect with the audience or connect with the people when you're talking. Usually, it depends when you have a dais and you're standing erect and talking, how you have to place yourself on your arms on the podium, how you are keeping your stationery and your papers or notes. Usually, when people sit and talk, they have the habit of crossing their arms.
mm,
That's
mm.
extremely rude. You should never cross your arms and legs. People always have mobile phones
Yeah, they just
when
keep
they
scrolling.
when yes, so that's also not great to have
Mm,
mobile phones in your hand. Put away anything that can distract you and distract the audience, because what does it mean that having a mobile and looking into the mobile every now and then will show that you are not paying attention.
mm,
So you need to focus, and you also need to respond thoughtfully to the other person. So any kind of distraction should be avoided.
yeah.
So this is very important. Now, apart from these, then gestures, people always have the habit of flaying their hands about, moving their hands about, and talking. Too much of hand movements is again very distracting.
Mm,
You can make a few gestures, maybe to bring about some point or emphasize something, but avoid too much of action. That's also a mistake which people make by continuously moving their hands, their head. Then they will keep walking across the podium.
mm,
Yeah, that's also
yeah.
that's also very distracting.
Yeah.
So avoid these mistakes if you can, and try to avoid them. Then generally, I have come across in my career that there are also attitudinal mistakes which people have. What are these
Mm,
attitudinal mistakes? Being very dismissive or condescending. Oh, I know the best. I don't have to listen to anybody else.
mm,
Yeah, that kind of
yeah.
attitude, no, the attitude which people have, condescending attitude, is something which is very, very bad in communication. So avoid talking down to people that I know the best, you don't know anything. Your attitude can convey that very easily,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
So never be overcritical of anybody. You have a different viewpoint, yes, it may happen. You have different views, different opinions, but how you absorb it and how you convey it is another matter. Yeah.
Mm,
Then be sometimes as a teacher or as a tutor, I may have to give feedback. I need not be critical. I can only tell. I can tell very politely where you need to brush up, where you need to improve, right? Without
yeah.
being critical, without being
Mm,
critical. So avoid being critical whenever you can. Then be willing to consider the other person's perspective too.
mm,
That shows you're a good communicator. That when you
mm,
are able to absorb what the other person says, and you can look at the other person's viewpoint, then generally the communication is always very successful. So be prepared to share opinions, views, and also receive other person's opinion and views,
mm,
right? Even when we disagree, sometimes I can also make a mistake. Nobody is perfect. So even when we disagree, I don't need to be defensive every time. Oh, I I think I meant that. We always say that. Oh, I didn't mean that. I actually meant something else. I think you got it all wrong.
mhm.
Pe- You might have heard people say that.
Yeah,
So
because people who have overconfidence.
yeah, overconfidence and defensive. They don't want to accept their mistake.
Mhm,
So acknowledge other people's feelings very politely and respectively, and never be defensive about what you are saying
Hmm.
or what you have said. You may be wrong, other person might have a different opinion, but try to understand it in a polite manner. So, uh, then another, there are some other common mistakes. So, before we go on to the other common mistakes, can you share some of your experiences?
Hmm. Yeah, so as you said, eye contact, that is very important because whenever people are scared or they become nervous, so they don't want to match their eye, they look here and there, then they talk. Especially, I think it happened when we talk about gender, like if female talk
Ha
to
ha,
male
yes,
or a
yes.
male talk to female. So sometimes people who are a very, what should I say, very reserved person. So I think that kind of person, or introvert person, so they sometimes make this kind of mistake, but I play a really very important role here. And the second thing that I have noticed, I think, put a smile on the face. That is very important while talking, because if I talk to someone and that person have a little bit of smile on their face, so we feel more familiar to them. We feel sometimes more comfortable to share our knowledge and experience whatever we have. But someone who is very strict face, so sometimes we feel like
Yes,
people.
stern face.
So
Mm.
sometimes we feel like people are like not too much interested on me, or they don't want to listen to me, or they have so many other works that I have noticed. And the third thing I have noticed, that people sometimes unconsciously make a lot of mistake, like shaking their leg, and putting pen or fingers on their mouth. So these are the very,
Gestures, yeah.
yeah, so these are the very common that sometimes we do unconsciously. Even we don't know I am doing like this. And lately
No, so you
someone
can always practice
explained
in
us.
front of a mirror to talk to people who are your friends, your colleagues, who can point out. A very important way to in nowadays is recording,
Hmm, hmm,
and that will give you exactly your mannerisms, the way you speak, the way you pause. So there's a lot of things to be covered in this area, which we can't finish today, but I'm sure there can be more sessions where we can carry on this topic whenever you are free. And it was really great having this session with you, Priyanka. I really
uh,
enjoyed the session with you. Thank you so much.
oh, thank you so much, ma'am. Even I wanted to connect with you for a long time. I have seen your videos on YouTube, and since then I have wanted to connect with you. And today I'm really so excited.
Yeah,
Finally, I got a chance to connect with you.
thank you so much.
Thank you for your wonderful time.
Thank you.